Welcome. Hello. Welcome back. Happy Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, depending on where you are. Welcome to our next discussion of our book club book. Before we start, please let me know if you can hear me and see me well. I think it looks good on my side, but please just confirm just to be sure. Today we are going to be discussing the Braiding Sweetgrass, Indigenous Wisdom, Scientific Knowledge, and the Teachings of Plants by Robin Wall Kimmerer. It is a nonfiction book, and that's the intro, pretty much. So we've got two nonfiction books in a row. This was, let me adjust myself. So this is, maybe that's okay. Well, this was our read for June, but because I was not able to do it in June because of planning wedding and everything to do with that, we postponed it to now in November. So we finally have the discussion now, and I'm really glad we postponed it because I would have definitely not been able to comprehend anything in June from it. So here we are to discuss it now. And yeah, I'm very excited. I mostly hope you guys have things to talk about and have like some specific opinions, because I kind of find myself like very neutral. So I hope you have better experience, not better experience, but like more vocal opinions this time. I have about half an hour left in the audio because I'm bad at math apparently. Oh no. But well, it's a nonfiction, so there are no spoilers. I think that works, if that's okay with you. We can just discuss it. There are no spoilers, literally. And you can finish it later. Unless you really want to finish the first half an hour, then we can maybe do a little sprint and then discuss it later. Let me know. I can see and hear you. Good. Thank you for confirmation. Hello, Natalie. Welcome. I've not finished it. Surprise, surprise, but I have read enough to know I really like it. Good. That's very good. Shame you didn't finish, but again, this one is, there is no spoilers or anything, so it's gonna be fine, I think. Hello, somewhat tipsy as I just had a glow wine without having eaten yet. Okay, yeah, then that might be fun. That might be fun. You better eat something though. I didn't read, but still here. Welcome. Of course, you're welcome to hang out. Yeah, I doubt I missed anything except wrapping up everything nicely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I finished this less than half an hour ago. I was racing again. I did think I had it under control, but then I did not read anything on Friday. So indeed did not have it in control or under control. And so I finished half an hour ago. I listened to most of it on audiobook while cross stitching, which I want to show you because I think it's very like appropriate. I felt like this was the vibe. I was listening to this book, Braiding Sweetgrass. It is about nature and how to care about nature, and basically that everything is alive, even rocks are people, and we should really care about nature, and like when we take something from, we should give something back, and so on and so forth. We'll get into it. But I was cross-stitching this picture, and I thought that was absolutely perfect picture for this book. And it's this. It's not done yet. It's not done, but I've been working on this one. You saw at some point the fox during the fox challenge. Since then, I made a big progress, I think. But it's supposed to say, be kind to all that live. And then there are different animals and trees and grass and stuff. So there is more animals coming. But I felt like they were absolutely perfect cross stitch for this book. So that's, yeah, mostly of what I've been doing with this book. And yeah, it was narrated by the author. which I really did like. I really like the voice of the author. She sounds so nice. Um, yeah, my time management has been horrendous lately. Yeah, no worries. It happens. Totally normal, honestly. So you're good. It feels like such a hopeful read. Yes. Yeah, it is very, very hopeful read for sure. Yes, that's the perfect craft. Yeah, I think so. I really love that. Oh, that's perfect. I was attaching daisy granny squares for my mom's blanket, and that felt right too. Yeah, definitely. That also sounds very good. So yeah, it was a great book to listen to while doing some crafts. Of course, at some reasonable speed, because I felt like if I would listen too fast or like at a too high speed, I would just lose a lot of the connections. So that was important to keep it at slower speed. So yeah, that was good. I looked up photos of the author so I could picture her talking around the forest, telling me a story. Oh yeah, there is. I imagine that's her, right? I imagine that's her. So I had it on the book all along, but definitely get it. I was most often cooking or puzzling while listening. Also good. Did you feel like you gave your thanks and gifts back to the nature when cooking? The food that the nature gave you, even though obviously it was kind of separated. That if you wherever the food comes from, if it's like from a grocery store, there is so many steps removed from the process that is not the same, but still could practice it anyway. I really like the audio too, but was glad to have the physical copy to mark things. Yeah, I did not end up marking anything. There were lots of things that I really enjoyed, and I would probably end up marking half of the book. So at the end of the day, I did not mark anything. And I think there were maybe 2 or 3 moments when I was like, "Oh, this is amazing," but at that point, I just did not feel like pausing the audiobook and going to the book to annotate it. I also did not have my annotation. I was just not ready for this. I was just vibing. I was just vibing this time. So yeah. Did you listen to it again, Natalie, or was it only that once over a year ago? She seems like such a lovely human. Yeah, she does. Absolutely. I was definitely feeling gratitude through the enjoyment of the lovely flavors. Great. Yes, that's good. Um, yeah, so we have. I don't know how to talk about this book. I think we all just agree it's such a hopeful book. It talks. Actually, the uh, dedication in the beginning felt so on spot because I just recently read The Firekeeper's Daughter, which is also by an indigenous author. And it says, "For all the keepers of the fire, my parents, my daughters, and my grandchildren, yet to join us in this beautiful place." I absolutely adore this dedication. And I was just like, "For all the keepers of the fire." And then she, of course, explains why there was the dedication. It is the specific tribe that are like, that have the name that translates to firekeeper. And that was the same in The Firekeeper's Daughter, was the name of the tribe. But that they were supposed to keep the fire for the ceremonies and rituals. So I love that dedication. But then we talk a lot, or she talks a lot about her attitude to nature and to life, which is honestly not what I expected. I don't know what I expected. Well, I know what I expected, but I don't know why. It was probably just imagining the ideal book on this topic for me, and this was not it. That's why I feel kind of neutral on it. Like, there was nothing wrong with it at all. I really enjoyed the way it was written. I really enjoyed the perspectives and the attitude and the teachings and everything. But I kind of expected a little bit more of the objective facts and descriptions rather than her own personal attitude. So it is more like a memoir kind of thing, it feels like, rather than generally indigenous wisdom, because I don't know, I think I just expected more, like in Firekeeper's Door, to learn more about the tribes, to learn more about how they work, how the politics there works, how the traditions affect them, or what they do as traditions. But it felt like she was very far removed from the tribes, but hanging onto it by a thread, and doing all of these things with the nature, with her garden, with her job, just trying to hang on to it while not actually being able to be part of it herself. That's what it felt like to me, and that's not what I expected. So I think that's why, for me, it felt a bit more like a memoir rather than learning about the indigenous way of life. But again, that's just the expectation I had. If I went in knowing it was more of an autobiography or something like that, I would have, or more of a like personal opinions, personal outlook on life, I would have gone in with very different expectations and would probably enjoy it a lot more. Again, not that there was anything wrong with it, just my expectation. So I would definitely be open to read a different book, very much focused on the indigenous like facts and how the tribes work and everything like that. But that's a different book. It's fine. It's fine. But that's basically what was my experience. Like I loved it, but at the same time I felt a little underwhelmed because I expected more, I think. But that's fine. It's fine. I think I want to get the physical book for a reread. So many beautiful lines and sentiments that I want to remember. Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely. I also feel like I want to reread it someday. I read it physically and most of it in the evenings as a nice end of the day, or end to the day. I like reading it after a hard day at work and being able to lose myself in the wonder of nature. Oh yeah, that sounds amazing, honestly. Great plan. I kept sharing random facts with my mom. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that, yes. I just reread all the quotes I marked to help me remember. Nice, yeah. And now I feel connected because I have a tattoo that says "I carry the fire." Oh, really? Wow, that's something. I love that. It gave me the same vibes as finding the mother tree. Uh, yeah, very similar. I think for me the difference was that going into the finding the mother tree, I knew it was kind of a memoir and like autobiography. Um, I think I did. This one I did not know, but yeah, in a way it's very similar. But in a way, I also felt like we, how to describe it, in finding. I didn't get exactly the same vibe. I understand what you mean, but I felt like they were quite a bit different. Mostly because finding Mother Tree felt more scientific and more closer to me, to my own experience, uh, compared to this, because this was very strange, very foreign to me, from the point of I, I like. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it, but I find it difficult to um, understand or think in the line that rocks are alive. I I can't understand that. And in a way, finding Mother Tree, I felt like I understood everything about it, everything that she was saying, everything. Like I felt very connected. With this one, I felt a little bit like, not too much, but like so vastly different from the way I approach life. In a way, very similar. Like I care about nature as well, but I never thought about it in that way that she describes here. while I do think about it the way that she describes in Finding the Mother Tree. So I think that's why I kind of feel like it's so different, but I understand also like how it was very similar. It focused on both the facts and how the nature works at the same time as their attitudes to it and their life work, sharing their life work. So in a way, it was similar, yes, but also very different. So that's actually a very interesting comparison, I think. I agree. I expected more facts, less autobiography. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely feels like a memoir, but like she's talking us back through everything she's learned by sharing her story. Yeah. Yeah. To me, the mix of her personal story and beliefs with woven in facts worked well. Yeah, I mean, it worked great. Yes, definitely did. Um, Too many facts would definitely take away from the overall message of hope and care, because the parts with the place her grandfather and others were taken, can't remember the name, were bleak. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so maybe she's not the person to write that kind of book. So maybe this was like, this is the perfect book for her, and the other thing that I would like more would be much better written by somebody else, which I'm sure there are like many books about that. So just need to look them up, find them. But yeah, I get it. I was talking to my colleague about this book, and then she was, uh, wait, I'm also listening to that book. Really? What? What are the odds? That's amazing. The person who wrote Finding the Mother Tree isn't as interesting as this author. Lol, for me, obviously. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But again, that will be probably very similar to like the similar reason that I just said why I enjoyed that one more, because I could relate to it more. She felt more similar to me. Finding Mother, what was Susan Kimmer? What's her name? Susan? No, Susan something. Um, she felt more similar to me, so I kind of was able to dive into it a bit more, while this one felt more like, yes, definitely more interesting because she's so different. um so but yeah, absolutely. But always too logical for this book. I am a little bit, yeah. It seems like. Meanwhile, I apologize for walking on grass. uh, I feel also bad for walking on grass, that like that. I when I see everybody walking on the grass, making the path, I will always go around the thing that is asphalted. Like, we already have asphalt here. Why do we ruin the grass here? So I totally get it. I totally get it. Like, it's not that, and everything that lives and interacts with the living world in a living way. Like, I don't give the plant water, it dies, but I can have a rock next to it, and it will be there for 100 years and nothing about it changes. That's what I mean. That like, I can treat the plant and a rock exactly the same way, and the rock will be like, okay, and the plant will be like 2 weeks later probably very thirsty, if not dead. So that's kind of the difference. Like, it's not that I don't care about walking on grass, or I understand the connection. Like, the trees are as living beings, or plants as living beings, even though obviously that's, don't want to go too far that way, because then I don't know if I can eat them, and I still need to eat. But like, in a sense, I get that. I don't get the stones I don't understand. But well, interesting to me, the part of everything being people, even rocks, really resonated with me. I loved when she said that being aware of this makes us less lonely. Yeah, yeah. I'm jealous of that, honestly. I wish I would have resonated with that as well. But to me, just it's just like, okay, I hear you, but I don't get it. The rocks is where you're losing me. Probably I'm too logical for that, yes. Um, but yeah, I'm jealous that you get it. I want to too. I love that she refers to nature and floofs as more than human people. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly. I was a little first like confused, but then like yeah, definitely. I'm a lifelong collector of cool rocks I randomly find. So yeah, and again, I love rocks. Like I actually one of the few souvenirs I brought from Morocco were rocks. Again, it's not like I don't find them beautiful. I just don't think they are living. They are changing. Of course, they are changing over centuries, millennia. They are 100%. I get it, but I don't consider them living creatures. Um, it's just that is the kind of like the little, but yeah, I think her thoughts being so different from how I live life or what I was taught was the appeal of the book for me. Oh yeah, absolutely. I absolutely adored it. I in like when they were saving the salamanders and frogs on the road. I do that very often when just outside the house here when it rains during summer, spring, autumn. There is a lot of slugs. I do not touch the slugs. I don't like the slugs. They're disgusting. I just hope nobody kills them and nobody steps on them. But I don't do anything with them. But if there are snails with the shells, I will grab them and put them to the side so nobody steps on them. You know, like I do that. So I resonate with a lot of things. Again, I resonate with a lot of things she said, and it's also a lot different from what I know, and I admire it, and I think it is the right way to live. And that also, like, whenever somebody is like, I don't know how to explain, but like, people eating meat, and then they say that they know exactly what's happening to the animals in the factories, and they think it's disgusting. And the next day, I see them eating meat. I'm like, there is something wrong with you. um, because if you understand and you think it's absolutely horrible and people should not be doing that to animals, and then the next day you're eating that, then there is some conflict in your head. And in a way, people who hunt for food, let's say indigenous people, they do not have like the factories for animals and kill the animals there and then eat them. They hunt them, or they have like very few animals that they eat only at the amount that they need. And that, while I would not want to watch it, to somebody kill an animal, I absolutely understand it, and I would never say a word against it, because, well, it's different mentality, and they appreciate the animal, they appreciate what they get from it. I still wouldn't eat it, I still wouldn't like to see it, but I also would not think that this is so wrong. It just would be like, yeah, normal. That's the relationship with the nature you have. And that's kind of the thing. Like, I understand it, and I think if world will be thinking more like this book describes, we would be living in a much better world, way better world. So that I absolutely loved. And in that way, everybody should read this book for sure. And yeah, again, like, I'm not saying anything against it. It's just like, I do not. I try, but I don't see the rocks as people, and I missed some more of the actual workings of the tribes, because we know there are still tribes and that function and everything, but it seems like she's a bit too removed from it. But like that's fine, that's fair. I expected a little something else. So those are my, like, and again, I'm not, it's not like a complaint about the book that she said she thinks rocks are people. That's not at all what I'm saying. Like, that's not, it's just like a little layer that I was just like, that's one thing I did not understand. But I admire it, and I'm jealous for those of you who understand it. I want to too. I really do. And my brain just doesn't allow me. Um, the way she sees things and places, uh, sees things and places align more with how I see things than what I was taught. So probably why I love it too. Yeah, exactly. I oh my gosh, I was taught to. I I don't even know what I was taught. I grew up in a country where, or in a society where you, yeah, you just go to the store and you eat it. Like, why do you need to look at anything behind it? Just you know, eat what's on the table and don't think about it. And I don't know. I think my dad was kind of like in a conflict in that sense as well. He, I think he did appreciate plants and trees in a way that many other people did not, because he grew up with it. He grew up taking care of gardens and animals and vineyard and everything. So he very much understood his garden and his trees and everything. While at the same time, whenever I said that I didn't want to eat pigs because of the way they are raised, he was like, "Oh, and you don't care about the children that are starving. Like, what does that have to do with anything?" So he also had this kind of very much conflict in his head. So I don't know, I was kind of raised both to understand it and to care for nature, while at the same time, they both my parents grew up poor, and so whatever they could afford, they did not question it. They were just happy they could afford things. Um, so it was kind of like very much on the border between, um, yeah, very much the border between respecting the nature and appreciating everything that you have, and being able to afford more and just taking advantage of it. So it's complicated. So I don't know. I was kind of, I would say both, because I was also a scout, so I was definitely that in that way in a group of people that like everybody cared about nature. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy the book. I did love the way she talks about nature. I think I want to think more about nature that way, but I also can't really do much about it because I do not have my own garden. I do get my food from grocery stores. So it's not, it feels like it's not as direct to me as I would have wished. Now, of course, I can always do more, and it's about the attitude and everything. But at the same time, it feels like there is not that much I can do at the moment to do more, in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. I'm at that part right now, the Scaly Floof Transport Brigade. Oh, yeah, yes. That really hit me too when the students showed up and were upset about maintaining the experiment by not interfering, hoping to do more good in the future with their research. Yeah, that my stomach dropped reading that. I mean, I get it. I get it. You gotta, like, for greater good. Horrible, but I guess some things are too tough, and you just gotta do it. Oh, I also love the whole philosophy of only taking half of something and never taking the first of something. You see, in case it's the last one. I think that was in the beginning. Yeah, that was something in the first half. Yeah, I really love that. Like, never take the first thing you see, because it might be the last thing. Like the first thing of something that you see, because it might be the last thing. I love that. I was like, that is actually amazing, and I will try to live by that. And yeah, never take more than half, which again, in my personal life, not a problem. I think, because I don't go to forests or something to pick mushrooms or plants or anything. So in that way, and of course, trying to, in like when going to a grocery store, trying to buy only what we need, trying to not waste food. But I don't know if I can do much more than that, but definitely is like important. And I love that exactly what you said there. That's totally fair. Expectations have a big impact on how we read books. Yeah. Unfortunately, the threat of children starving in other places is a universal guilt trip by parents. Yep. Yeah. I was like, that has nothing to do with it. I loved how she connects the care for nature and spirituality. For a long time, I was in a spiritual environment that felt very disconnected to nature, and that always felt wrong. Okay. Yeah. I get that. I get that. To me, it feels very connected as well. I can't imagine how it would ever be not connected, spirituality and nature. Again, not that I'm very spiritual. I was raised very anti-spiritual, to be honest. So that's something I still struggle with. I want to be more because I think it would be good for my mental health. But I still fight with the inner child that is really scared of it and thinks it's all kinds of crazy, which is what I was raised with. So that I'm still working on. But whenever I imagine it, it's always somewhere in the nature for sure. Yeah. That makes sense. So I think I read it at the perfect time, and that's why I loved it so much. Could be, yes. That's amazing. Love that for you. I wonder if we have so many visitors in our backyard because we always throw some tomatoes into the bushes for flues to eat. Oh, really? Nice. Yeah, definitely. If you give them food, they're gonna come. And by we, I mean me. Yes. As a linguist, I loved learning about the language and its reflection of the society. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that as well, for sure. Um, do you have any specific example that we could talk about? I don't think I remember anything specifically. I know she was talking something about that as well, but I don't have anything specific in my head right now. So if you remember something. It was so sad to learn that there were only 6 active speakers of the language left. Oh yeah. I find that really hard to believe. How is it? I mean, she did explain how that's possible, but how is that possible? They were scared of teaching their children the language, so to save them from being taken away. But how is it only 6 in the entire freaking North America? That's crazy. Those parts are so interesting. I love that she explains origins, translations of words. Yes, that was amazing. But yeah, these also the 6 active speakers actually was it which game was it? They were in an NHL game in Minnesota last week. I don't know who they were playing, but there was a game. I think it was Colorado, but I could be wrong. Minnesota, and they had first ever. Oh my gosh, what's the language? Ojibwe. Ojibwe commentary of NHL game, and there were like 3 indigenous guys just talking, commenting the game in Ojibwe, and it was broadcasted, and you could go online and like watch it in Ojibwe, and I thought it was amazing. That's why I'm a bit surprised. Like there's only 6 active speakers, but maybe there's like a different language. But I feel like Ojibwe feels very alive from what I've seen around. I haven't seen much. Unfortunately, it's not something I'm very well informed or studied in. So I don't know, but just based on the fact that there were 3 people commenting an NHL game in Ojibwe, feels like there is going to be a lot more active speakers of Ojibwe than of the language, whichever language she was talking about, which is good. It's good that it's still alive. And there were like, one of them was maybe like 50, and then there were 2 that were like teenagers or early 20s. So that was great to see, actually. Those parts are so interesting. No, that already we read. Oh, yes, I forgot about that part, but loved that too. Yeah. There was a really nice bit about setters, but I don't remember. Oh, yeah. You mean the language or just about setters? I love that it was that setters grow like naturally. Setters have conditions to grow only twice in a century. That's absolutely crazy. if I understood that correctly. So that's why we need help. Like if we cut it down, you need to actively plant it to grow it, because otherwise the conditions for it to grow naturally are only twice in a century, which is bonkers. I don't know if I understood that correctly, to be honest. I believe there was something about the gender of words, like animals and plants and such, I believe, don't have a neutral article, like in most languages, if I remember. Yeah, I think so. That's true. I think that is true, yes. I remember that. That's so awesome. I didn't know that. Yay, NHL. Yeah, that was really cool. And a much bigger variety of verbs. Oh, yeah, there's so many verbs. And yeah, in the beginning, it was like, oh, I don't remember what the examples were, but yeah, that was definitely in the, oh, almost a cramp. In the beginning, explained or talked about the verbs and how things, yeah, like I beach or something. Like I go to the beach, it says like I beach or something like that. I don't remember exactly what it was. Bay. I bay. I don't know. But it was something like that. I remember now, yes. Speaking of language, I adored her writing. Did you mention at some point she was a poet or into poetry or something? That really shows it's so beautifully written. Um, yes, very much agree, Natalie. Her writing is beautiful. And it's, sorry if I'm reading weirdly, it's just really small text and I'm just trying to see. Sorry. Her writing is beautiful and it feels like she really thought of the perfect way to express what she wanted. Yeah, I don't, I have to say, I do not know if she said anything if she was a poet. If she did, I missed that. But she did talk a lot about poetry. So I wouldn't be surprised. So yeah, it was very beautifully written. That's true. Papawi. This Potawatomi word means the life force which causes mushrooms to push up from the earth during the night. Oh, exactly. And then she goes like, it also means something else. And I laughed so hard. I honestly laughed when she said that. Oh, it was like, I was so glad when I learned this word. It's like describes this. There is no word in any other language. And then I learned that it means also something else. Also something else that grows, that another shaft that grows overnight. And I was like, no, you didn't. No, no. I laughed. Do you guys know what I mean? I don't want to be too explicit, honestly. Today my brain forgot the word shade and I ended up saying I like the way my nails looked in the not light, the anti-light. Yeah, it happens. Honestly, I sometimes also completely forget words. Like it's so obvious. How can I not? I feel like I'm going crazy, but maybe just age thing. Maybe I remember the mentions of poetry and made her a poet in my head afterwards. Could be, could be. I don't know. Oh my god, I forgot that part too. Yeah. Happy Sunday. Hello, Daniel. Welcome, welcome. Happy Sunday. Yeah, that had two meanings. That word. Thank you for reminding me. I laughed at that one. Yes, I did not mark it. I don't know why. I was probably like I don't want to think about this again. But I mean, it is funny. It is very funny. Um, just very innocently using a word and excited to learn a word and then be like, oh, of course it means that, but it also means something very, very different. Again, amazing that they have like one word for it. English does not have English does not have one word for it. They have a phrase for it, but not one word. So again, better, I guess. She's definitely a writer of some kind, and I think poetry makes sense with the way she writes. Could be, yes. Um, yeah. I don't know what else we are gonna talk about here. We talked about the writing. I was actually thinking, did anybody crack? And we have Jess here, so maybe you are into it, and maybe somebody else. I was not able to crack it properly, maybe just because I was rushing through the book at some points. But the structure of the book. And they do this so often, this kind of books, and I love it, but I often have hard time cracking it. So we have different parts of the book, and they all are different: planting sweetgrass, tending sweetgrass, picking sweetgrass, braiding sweetgrass, and burning sweetgrass. How are they connected to the specific chapters we were reading? And where the chapter is organized in a way to correspond to different step of the process of braiding sweetgrass, of uh, planting sweetgrass, so we're planting seeds and talking about all of these things, and then tending sweetgrass, so I was talking about how to care about the nature. Picking sweetgrass, like, was it connected in that way? I think I just did not dig into it too deep, but I thought there is definitely some meaning. So did anybody pick on that is basically my question. If not, that's fine. I was just curious if anybody could explain that to us. That didn't make sense. She's obviously written books. I hope you know what I mean. Oh, yeah, 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 of course. What's the saddest part of the book for you? Saddest part. Wait, let's see. Mm, for me, yeah, one thing is that there is so few native speakers of these, or like active speakers of these languages. That is very sad, I think. And as she said, it's not only language that dies; it's the whole tradition, whole culture basically dies once you lose the language. So I think it's very important that they try to save it, the language. So that is very sad that you would basically lose this whole part of the world and of the human history, even though it's such a small part, but it still matters. Then I found it very sad when they were saving the salamanders and frogs, and how they basically just stood by, and then when the cars drove by, they just counted how many died. I thought that was very sad, and like they just had to do it because you just had to let the couldn't interfere with them at all, couldn't carry them across, could just be there and watch it happen and then count them. And that's just crazy. And of course, it's like on the big scale of the world, it's such a small thing, but the I don't know, that hit. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Can't think of anything else right now. Maybe once you say something, I'll remember that as well. Yes, it does feel a bit like a life cycle overall. Yeah, yeah, it does. Oh, I don't remember if the structure made sense at the time I read it. Okay, fair. The saddest part for me is always seeing how my country has treated the land and people they displaced and destroyed. Or maybe I'm extra sensitive to it now because of the general fuckery in the US now. Yeah, that is definitely also very sad. How they just came and thought that these natives are less and we need to take the Indian out of them. And it's horrible, what they were doing to these tribes and these societies. So, yeah, that as well, the description of that. For me, the saddest part was the lake near New York part. This lake that it's so important in Native history that has just been completely destroyed by Western disregard. Oh, yes, that's true. Yeah, that the kids were just coming and like they could just uh, get mercury on spoon and sell it for a movie ticket. Like that's how horrible it was. Yeah, that also. That reminded me very much. I don't know if you saw How I Met Your Mother. The I don't know which season it was, but at some point Marshall um, is defending this lake and is fighting for it to be for the company that polluted the lake to pay and to clean it up. and it was a big part of that season anyway. And that kind of like reminded me of it, like wonder if that was kind of inspired by that, by like real events. I mean, always, but there is an overabundance of Fajr here this year. True, true, true. Cleo, while reading the book, I thought the entire time of people in my life that are not aware of any of that and would need to read the book so badly, but most likely they never will. Yes. Yeah. That is so deep, Natalie. And I agree. I think I felt more like not only in my life but like in general, like the society. I don't think we'll ever get there, or not in my lifetime anyway. But I totally get that. Yes, I think that's the saddest part to me: the ignorance and resistance towards the care for Earth. Yes, it reminded me of Erin Brockovich. I don't know anything about Erin Brockovich. I only know she was played by Julia Roberts in a movie, if I'm correct. I don't know. But otherwise, I don't know actually anything about it. So maybe I need to read into it something, or read on it, learn more about it. Also, knowing how many place names near me sound indigenous, yet I have no idea who came from the area where I live. How was I not told that? All I know is my town used to be celery farms. Okay. Yeah, that definitely. Um, I spent a year in Milwaukee, which sounds very much like indigenous name, and the entire area around, and basically Wisconsin. Wisconsin has lots of towns that have indigenous names, 100%. But I don't think I ever met anybody, and I was there for only for a year, so maybe that's all right. But I did, yeah. How it's like indigenous name, they kept it, but it's completely westernized, and it's a western city. Like where do these indigenous people go? Where did they go? Where are they? Is there a neighborhood in the city where they live, or how does that work? Like I don't understand that. How that came to be. So yeah, I get that, and that is it's very strange. I don't know how you would learn it though. I'm just trying to think how you would learn more about it, like in school, um in history class or something, I guess. But I didn't take any history classes, so I wouldn't know. I'm thinking more about like you, where you maybe grew up. But if I'm there for a month, for a year, how would I learn more about it? I was not taking any history classes. How? I don't know, other than just me actively looking into it. But yeah, yeah, I get it. I get it. It's very strange to me how that works. I don't know. And I only know that because a lot of kids who swam at the town pool ended up developing asthma from some of BS with chemicals in the ground. Oh, what? That's insane. It was so sad that this indigenous tribe tried to raise a claim in name of the entire peoples of the region, not just the indigenous people, and their claim was rejected, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that was also, that sucked. It's just sad to think how much knowledge has been lost. Yes. Yeah, Erin Brockovich also deals with polluted water from industrial waste, more in that case with health issues in the families around that area. Okay, yeah. It is Norway that has indigenous people, or is it in Sweden? Uh, all, yes, Norway, Sweden, Finland. There are indigenous people in the north. They are called Sami, and they are treated much better now than they used to be in just a few decades ago. They were treated very badly. They would be brought down to south of the country and tested on and stuff like that. So um, Norway, Sweden, also not innocent at all in how they treated indigenous people, but now it's very different. In actually, I don't know, like I don't feel any kind of, how to say, I don't feel any kind of hostility in the society against Sami. I don't know any Sami people, or if I do, it's just at work some colleagues from the north. But I'm not sure if they are Sami or not. They have some names that could be Sami, but I'm not sure. Um, and so I don't know their side, how they are treating it. But the north basically belongs to them. They have, these reindeer that if you ever see videos from like Lapland or whatever, and there are reindeer on the roads, they are owned by Sami people. The reindeer, they are not wild reindeer. They are owned by Sami people, and oftentimes, actually, what happens? What I heard, again, a friend told me this, friend who now lives up there, so he knows things. I don't claim this is true, but I heard that now they even like um, release the reindeer close to the roads, so in case somebody runs over a reindeer, the Sami can ask for a lot of money in exchange for this reindeer, and they get a lot more money for it because this is like a protected Sami property kind of thing. So it's not that it's flipping. I don't mean to say that. It's just like they're sneaky. They're sneaky. They're putting their reindeer at risk, which feels very wrong. So I don't know if that's true. It sounds very wrong. But if there are, maybe they think if there are strangers driving through our lands, maybe they should pay up. I don't know. Maybe it's completely made up. I don't know. But yeah, I think now the relations are much better. And yeah, when you go up north, you always have two languages on the signs. You have, well, if you're in Sweden, Swedish, and then Sami. Um, and in Norway, the same, Norwegian or Sami, on the signs as well. So it's that they are all in the north. It's all Norway, Sweden, and Finland that have them. That part made me yell out loud, Cleo, when it was rejected. Oh yes, yes. Now I'm wondering if the store at the mall when I was a kid called Native Arts was run by people originally from my area. I hope it was, because they got a lot of my money over the years. Could you find out? Is it closed now though? I had a colleague who is Sami. Was the first time I knew about the existence of the Sami people. Okay, yeah. I don't have, or not that I know. I can't pinpoint any person. Well, there is one person that I think could be Sami, but unlikely. And anybody else, they don't have names like Sami, so also unlikely. But yeah, I don't know when I learned about Sami, but yeah, here it's not like on your mind every day. It's not like that, but they are in the north. That's their natural, from what I know, that's their natural place. Like they live up in the north, but it could be the entire Sweden and they just went up, but I don't think so. But I don't know all the history. I will have to be honest. I do not know all the history of Sami in Scandinavia. So, but it just doesn't sound like it if you learn about Vikings, because Vikings were kind of in the south of the Scandinavia, and then Sami would be in the north. So like two completely different societies. But yeah, I'm having a random half memory of Barbara having a reindeer, moose, some big fluke wandering through your neighborhood, and everyone updating where it was on an app. Oh yeah, yeah. We have moose around, not reindeer. We don't have reindeer down here. We have moose, and sometimes there are, especially if it's once there was one like young moose that was aggressive, So they had to chase him down, and I don't know. I don't think they shot him. I think they just moved him away somewhere to other area because he was probably like too territorial, unnaturally so. So they just completely moved him, like kilometers away. I don't know how far, but they moved him away. And then there are almost every year there are moose with calves. So that's always a danger when you have a mother moose and usually has two calves. And then people always post that be careful, I saw a moose with two calves here, and they always share like where it was. And once there was a person in the neighborhood attacked by a moose. She ended up in a hospital, survived luckily. It's not, it's not that easy, or like not nothing to get attacked by a moose. It's actually very extremely dangerous to be attacked by a moose. They can be aggressive. If they are aggressive, they are very strong. Like their kicks are very, like, they can kill you. So it's very dangerous. And then of course people walk around with their dogs a lot, and if you have moose with calves, then the moose will be scared of the dogs. So then always they post in the group like there was I saw a moose here with, or like I was chased by a moose. And yeah, then sometimes they post like I saw this moose here, I saw this moose here, I saw this moose here. So yeah, we have moose around. And then the other day, what was it, 2 weeks ago, there was another neighborhood in Stockholm, not our neighborhood, another neighborhood in Stockholm. They had a moose that was just hanging out in somebody's backyard, like outside of the entrance to the house, just in their background. And like all day, he was there all day, like lying, standing, just chilling in the backyard all day from the beginning. Like they couldn't go anywhere because there was moose in their backyard. And people were saying like two options. Once, either the moose was there for the apples because there were some apples left over on the tree, or second, because the hunting season began, and so he was hiding because you can't hunt moose in the residential area. So the moose was just hiding by a house, so it's not hunted. So I don't know which one it is, but it was just moose in somebody's backyard all day. So we have a moose around here for sure. Not reindeer. Reindeer are up north. Not down here. Down here is moose. Well, and of course then the normal creatures like deer and fox and such. But then moose. Maybe I knew about Sami when we visited Norway and Sweden, but I was just too young. Yeah, could be. There it is very there in visiting places, like if you have like a tourist office and souvenirs and stuff, then it's very overwhelming, and not in a bad way. I mean, like overwhelming, like it's everywhere. That there are some, there are like their flags and their products and everything, so you kind of can't escape it when you go, especially if you go north. I don't know if that's as widespread in Stockholm. I think I've seen some things like that, but I don't think it's as widespread. But then if you go in the north, you will there are like Sami flags all over, and in all the souvenir stores you'll have Sami places, Sami products. So after it's a lot. So if you, depending on where you go, it could be very much like all over. So you can't escape it. I think it's been closed for a while. I'll have to look into it. I shall make a list. Yes, do it. A moose once bit my sister. Monty Python, anyone? No, sorry. Still haven't seen it. But yes, that was this book. What will you guys rate it if you are rating it? I know sometimes it's very difficult to rate nonfiction books. I don't know if I'll rate it myself. I think I'm very conflicted because it was great, but at the same time I expected something else, and I'm a little bit, as we said, expectations determine very often how much you enjoy the thing, and whether it's a book or a place you're traveling to, whatever it might be. So my expectations definitely affected my experience. So maybe my rating would not be fair. So I don't know if I'll rate it. I'm thinking 4 stars. I was thinking 3.5, but it feels just too low. Like I didn't see anything wrong with it. So 4 stars probably for me. So thank you, Natalie, for making us read this. Very good book. I feel weird rating books like this, but I did love it. Yeah. I gave it 5 stars. A lot of that had to do with how it made me feel. Fair. That's what it's supposed to be. I guess I rated it something, but I don't remember. That's fine. Yeah. So I think it'll be like a 4 star for me if I end up rating it something. Yeah. Is there anything else we would like to chat about in this book? Was there something? Yeah, Cleo asked about like what was the most like saddest thing about the book, or what made you sad about the book. I want to ask the other way. Yes, we did say it's a very hopeful book, or like full of hope. What was the one thing that you will take away with you? That if you finished it, I finished it just today, so I can't tell just yet what it will be. But if you finished it some time ago, what is one thing you keep thinking about? What is the one thing that you think you will bring to your life and will try to apply it? Do you have anything like that? I like the overall message and experience, but I'm sure I'll forget 85% of it. But the experience itself is worth a lot as well, of course. Yes. Yeah, exactly. I already forgot a lot of it. But still, as a book itself, I think it was definitely worth it. I'm so glad you all voted for it, read it, and it didn't entirely disappoint. No, it didn't disappoint. No, no, that was just my expectations. It didn't disappoint, really. Thank you, Natalie. I'm glad you recommended this book to us. Yes, thank you, thank you. What I will take away from it is to open my mind and try to learn that rocks are people too. Now, I think one thing that's sticking to me is that we are not supposed to. She is describing this one moment with like her students, I think, where she talks about like or asks them about what would be best for nature or something like that. And the students reply if humans wouldn't interfere at all with the nature and would just leave it be. And then she goes on and proves that that's not true, and that there are many instances when humans help the nature, and that the ideal scenario is the cooperation between the nature and humans. We just need to do it respectfully, and I think that's kind of what's gonna stick with me. That it's not about you know cutting down a tree for a book. It's about how you appreciate it and what you give back. That you are really mindful of your choices and of the use of the resources that you have and that you buy and that are available to you thanks to nature or any other means. I think that's what's gonna get stuck with me the most, is that you don't have to feel like so horrible about getting things as long as you're mindful about it and think about it twice, and then hopefully give also something back in return in one way or another. I think that would be one thing that I will take with me. I think overall it is a reminder to slow down and keep on reflecting on what we are consuming and purchasing. Exactly. Not that we need to stop buying things, but making sure to be intentional most of the time. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, I think that's especially we people who live in a city in an apartment. I think that's the most we can do. Um, I don't go to forests to get fruits or mushrooms or maple syrup or whatever. So I cannot really implement that knowledge or that practice, but can definitely keep it in mind when purchasing for sure. So that I agree with that 100%. I love how it reminds me to really notice things around me, like don't just walk past the tree, appreciate their gifts and do what you can to show gratitude. Yes, that's beautiful. I love the stuff with the Thanksgiving address too. Oh, yeah, that was a great part. I love that. Yes. Yeah, that was great. Yes, I love the instances that show the cohabitation that is possible between humans and nature. Yeah. Hmm. Maybe just the overall feeling of being connected, and that I want to be more aware of this in my daily life, and her thoughts on sharing and gifting. Yeah. Okay. Nice. I love it. A really powerful reflection she made was the differences between a society that starts its day with a Thanksgiving address versus an allegiance to a flag. Yes. Uh, yeah, that was a great chapter. Which one was that? Wait, was it this one? Allegiance to gratitude. I think that was the one. No, 105. Yeah, it was allegiance to gratitude. We don't do this, so it would never cross my mind. But I did find it a powerful observation. Yeah, exactly. I watch a lot of overconsumption commentary type videos, and I like how much these reinforce noticing the difference between a want and a need, because so many of us have so much more than we need. Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. I also want to be more mindful of it. So we are actually doing that this Christmas because I am used to, growing up. Again, my parents didn't have much when we were little, when I was little, when they were little, when I was little as well. They didn't have much. They really had to, you know, count what we could afford and plan what we could afford in a month. And so growing up, the gifts were very intentional and very much like something that you need to appreciate and enjoy rather than getting too much that you're not going to use. But as they were getting, better and better financially, they started to buy more and more because they could now afford it and they could show gratitude or love in that way. That is actually the biggest way in which they show love is gifts. And then it often turns into giving a lot. And then I kind of learned that and took that on as well. Like I want to give so much as well because it's show of love, right? But now I'm trying to unlearn that and be like only very mindful giver because oftentimes like I struggle with the gifts, and like now when we are coming to Christmas, it's again very very um well, now is the time to talk about it. I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. It's coming to me in Swedish. But that I usually also like give and expect gifts that would surprise me rather than gifts that I ask for. And in a way, I expect that that is a show of love. But I'm trying to unlearn that. And this year, we are actually doing it. We talked about it a few times, and we talked about it today. That we really want only things, or like want to give each other with Henrik, only the things that we really ask for and really want, and really know that the other one wants. Even if maybe you didn't specifically ask for it, but we know you talked about it many times, you want it, then we're gonna get it. But it's not gonna be some small thing that maybe you'll enjoy or not, but just to give you something that I thought about you. Like we are trying not to do that this year. So it's going to be much fewer gifts. And I think that comes very much together with this, like trying to buy less things that you don't need and you just want and can afford. So that's something I definitely am very mindful of. And I've been very mindful of it for many years, but it was from the financial point of view that I didn't want to spend money on things that I didn't need. Now, I mean, that is still a factor, but not as much. I think now it's really more about, well, one thing is because there are things all over the apartment and we have no place to put them. So it's like, really, do we need this? Do we really want it? Or is it just something that would be nice? Um, and then based on that, decide if you want to get it or not. And even more than to think about it in the way that it was portrayed here, to be much more mindful of the resources and of the environmental impact it has and everything like that as well. So that's definitely something to learn more of, I would say. Where were we? Agree. That was a great chapter. Thought, yes. I thought about the girl in my class when I was little who stood stood off for the pledge but never said it. Something with her religion, and it really made me think about why we all said it. Okay, interesting memory. Yes. Topical. It's topical. Is that the word? It's very topical now on the topic. I was thinking relevant, but topical is better word. Or really? Relevant, I understand. Topical, I don't think I ever heard, but thank you. Then I learned something. My brain was like, there's another more common word, but I couldn't think of it. Probably have never used topical in my life. No, I'm thinking. Yeah, but it's the right word, and your brain even let you find it. Unlike over here with the not light. Topical. Okay, it's very topical right now. Thank you. But yeah, so that was this. It seemed like it was quite a success. So again, thank you, Natalie, for recommending this to us. Thank you, everybody, for voting on it. And thank you for being here to discuss it with me and reading it with me. It was fun. I really enjoyed it and really enjoyed discussing it, how we picked different things. It's great. And then the next book we're going to be discussing or reading and then discussing. Once There Were Wolves by Cheryl McConaughey. We already had one Cheryl McConaughey on in the book club. I don't know how many of you were in that live show. Or how many read it with me then. I think it was only Jess then. We read Migrations. That was a fantastic book. So I have high expectations. I think it's quite different from Migrations. So I'm trying to go in with a different mindset. Or like not expecting Migrations 2.0. But still Cheryl McConaughey. So I still have very, very high expectations, and I'm really excited about this. It's not too long. Oh, it even has, wait. Discussion questions. Fantastic. There you go. In order to provide reading groups with the most informed and thought-provoking questions possible, it is necessary to reveal important aspects of the plot of this novel, as well as the ending. If you have not finished reading Once There Were Wolves by Cheryl McConaughey, we respectfully suggest that you may want to wait before reviewing this guide. Yeah. So we've got some discussion questions in the end of the book. There is 18 of them, so we probably won't do all of them, but pick some of them. Of course, not gonna read them now because spoilers, but I'm excited about this one. I'm very excited about this one. Thank you so much for hosting and everyone for sharing thoughts. Thank you. It's always nice to read hopeful ones. Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes, very happy to have read it. It was my Indigenous Heritage Month read. Oh, it was? Okay. I already had one of that one. So, it was like, oh, I'm going to be reading this one. Like, I would have counted for that as well. But I already picked that for my, the challenge vlog earlier. So I read a different book for that. So this one's going to count for something else. It's going to be probably for, well, it could be the BIPOC author. Could be a new one. And then nonfiction, probably. I'm so looking forward to the Wolf book. Yes, me too. Might have just been us gushing about it. Yeah, I think it was only us too. Ooh, not one to be late with it with then. Not one to be late with them. It is fiction. Yes, it's fiction. Yeah. Uh-oh, did anyone else say, oh, when the author mentioned Jane Goodall showing up at the thing for the lake? Oh, yes. Yeah, I did too. Jane Goodall. And I just saw about all of you, like, oh, all of you reading it, and there she says Jane Goodall. Thinking about all of you as well. Thanks for hosting. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here today. Fun discussing with you, as usual. I also cheered every time the author found Sweetgrass, so maybe I just had an extra interactive experience with the book. Yeah, definitely. It'll be my first nonfiction for her kid. Oh, what? Really? This will be your first nonfiction. This is my, I think, sixth already for her kid. So I actually can pick. I can kick one nonfiction out even from the 5 nonfiction list. But very good anyway. So this book is already ticked off from all of your Herkia. Like it already fits for 2 prompts. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I will see you on Tuesday in my sprints. And then no sprints on the weekend because reasons. We are traveling. And then Thursday after that, we'll be discussing Anne of Avonlea. Will be the live show. I have to set it up. I still haven't set it up, but I will. I promise. And it's going to be the Thursday. What is it? December 18th, I believe it was. I think. I will have to double check. And somehow we are postponing the adulthood rights. So I'm probably going to post a poll on when we would like to read adulthood rights, and probably post like a month pick for next year to get to that as well. Sequel to Dawn. And yeah, those are our plans for December anyway, or for near future. Also, general thanks for starting this book club. I kind of suck at finding these kind of books on my own. Feeling very grateful for CliMates. Oh, I'm so happy. When I started this, I was really feeling like nobody's gonna be interested in this. But then I thought, if one person is, it's better than nothing. And it's kind of like doing something good. So I'm really happy as well that it helps you and that you are enjoying it and that so many of you are joining regularly. I am very impressed. And because it's, most of the people read to escape and to try to read something that's like fun and nice. Like here, I'm sitting next to this one, the biggest Christmas secret ever. And I just want to go in and just read this magical story. And it's just amazing. It's escapism, right? Like it's fun, it's cozy, but at the same time I feel like I really wanted to have a book club because I didn't see any. Like there is so many book clubs already, but I didn't see any that would be specified and that would be like successfully running, that will be specified on the climate and nature. And I really was like, I think I want to do that. So I was like, I'm just gonna do it. And if one people joins, then one people joins, and that's still good. So I'm really glad that 4 of you joined. I think it's about 3 or 4 regularly. So I do plan, hope and plan next year to be more active on my CliMates Book Club Instagram to hopefully bring it to more people. So maybe more people can join. That will be great. To get more ideas, more opinions, and just to get more people reading these books as well. I think that would be great. So I do hope if there is anybody who wants to help me with that, I'll be very grateful. But I have a channel or account on Instagram for that, and I posted like 3 pictures on it so far. So I really need to be better at that next year. But yeah, I'm very grateful that you are showing up like regularly, coming for every one of them. And of course, if you feel like you want to skip some of the books, like you don't really feel like reading those, then that's completely fine, of course. But I'm very glad when you do come, all of you. And I really, really appreciate it because I still feel like, why are you here? You could be reading some amazing other escapism books and instead reading this with me. So I really, really appreciate it. No, I don't read nonfiction, clearly. Clearly not. Or bringing it here from Instagram. I don't know. I forget how it started. It started on Instagram. I was kind of running it with one girl, and we were kind of like buddy reading these books, but we were sharing it with everybody else. So it kind of like turned from buddy reads to public buddy reads to book club. And then she got busy with her studies. She actually went to study biology and trees, which is super duper cool. And I haven't talked to her since, honestly. But then I kind of took on this on my own and then moved it over here. So yeah. I've been on a bit of a nonfiction kick lately, so this was perfect. Yeah, me too. Like last 3 books I read were nonfiction, and at some point I was like, okay, I'm reading 4 books right now, and 3 of them are nonfiction. Like, what's wrong with me? So I don't know. I'm in the same boat. All right, need to slot that into my reading life. Yeah. I missed that postponement. I thought I wouldn't be able to join because I wanted to ask for the rest for Christmas. Oh, you mean adulthood rights? Yeah, we never got to it. I had it from library for 3 months, but I returned it because I was running out of time, and I was like, "We're definitely not gonna read it in December." So I returned it, and I'm gonna get it again in January or something, and see when that's gonna happen. So that's been postponed, for sure. It was never planned like directly when we're gonna read it. It was just like I had it, and then when it would happen. But then somehow we got busy with everything else. I don't know. Honestly, it's not that easy to have a book club every month and then have an read along every month as well. So that kind of took my time, a lot of it, and then and there are also other books I want to read. So I think next year will work better because then we go back to have a book club every other month. So and then it's going to be only every other month that we have 2 books, but then we can squeeze in adulthood rights to the month that there is no book club book. Kind of is my thought, but we'll see. I did have to rage quit a few books, but I think I said at the beginning, I'm so here for this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's totally fine. Like some books are not going to be to your liking. That's totally how it's going to be. I second my own Insta, so no big help here. Yeah, I second my own as well. I used to be good. I used to post every day. I got at one point up to like 1,000 in, I think I grew from like 500 to 1,000 within like one weekend. But then that was it. And then I stopped posting for some reason. I just was not enjoying it anymore. And then now when I post, I have like 1,000 followers, but I post something and there's like less than 100 people that see it. So less than 100 people that see it. So I now, yeah, I don't think I can revive that book Instagram account. I think it would take very, very hard work to do that. I think like it could potentially happen, but it would be very, very hard work. Instagram doesn't work that way. But this CliMates Bookclub, hopefully, because I have only 3 posts and it hasn't been active, hopefully it will take it as a new account. And I don't go there often either, so hopefully it will take it as a new account and will push it a bit more, but we'll see. Again, if it will bring only 1 or 2 people in, they will still be great. I used to only be good at the Discord, and now I suck at that too. I'm not a social human. Yeah, I'm not either. I suck at everything. I now noticed that actually haven't posted onto Discord, and nobody posting to Discord in like a week. And I just can't keep up with everybody else's. So I've just felt so disconnected, but it's okay because it's been a lot lately. So it's just what it is. I'm happy to be here. But otherwise I do struggle. Like the videos I wanted to post, I almost finished editing it last Friday, and I'm still sitting here Sunday, week after it's still not finished editing, because I just was not able to find time. I mean, of course, there was last weekend something that's unplanned. I did plan to edit a lot, and studying, I didn't even start for my course. So I'm now like 3 weeks late on my studying as well. So I'm struggling now, right? Like with everything, but I'm also trying to take it very easy and only do things that I enjoy because I know Christmas is very stressful time for me last few years. So I really would just wanna embrace that I'm doing better, I'm feeling better, and not overdo it with everything that I want to do because I don't have to do everything. And so that's where we end up. I do hope to edit now in the evening, finish at least that one video, because I have 12 minutes left to edit of that. So I feel like that could be doable today still, but we'll see. We shall see. But yes, my voice is dying on me. It's very, very tired because we had a Christmas party on Friday and it was in a club. So if I wanted to talk to somebody, you had to scream. So my voice is extremely tired. So I think we have to wrap it up now. To not overdo it with my voice again because I overdid it on Friday, and on Saturday my throat burned so much, and I could barely talk in the morning. So my voice is not made for this anymore. I'm too old. Me and my voice are too old. So yeah, now I'm going to go finish the chapter for Biggest Christmas Secret Ever. See, even this, I'm reading it every day, but I don't check in the Discord to see what everybody else is reading, or like what everybody else is thinking about these chapters. And like that's 3/4 of the fun, to discuss it with everybody else. But like I'm just not able to do it. So it's just where we are right now, but that's okay. I'm in the middle of the chapter, so I'm gonna finish that. And I'll see you on Tuesday in my sprints. So thank you so much again for being here, for reading this with me, discussing with me. Hope you have a good rest of the day or have a good night. And I will see you on Tuesday on my sprints that I still have to schedule. But yeah, thank you so much for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.